Alright, well, the plan for today was to go to be in the Philadelphia area, look up some gold mines and even maybe some caves down near Philadelphia in the Wissahickon Valley, but that didn't happen. Whoops, well, yeah, none of my flashlights worked this morning, and that's because from a couple of weeks ago when I went without kayaking and my kayak had a leak and all my gear got wet, so it kind of ruined my flashlights. One was supposed to be kind of waterproof, but apparently it's not. But that's the way it is. So, and that's alright. I believe everything happens for a purpose, so no Philadelphia today. So I decided just to come out to the Stony Valley Rail Trail here, Lebanon County, and I'm gonna hike down to Rausch Gap. I've made videos about that before, but this time I'm gonna be looking for something a little different, something I've only heard rumors of existing out here, and that's well, there is a cemetery down here in Rausch Gap, but I've heard rumors and read rumors that there was a black cemetery down here too. Yeah, even though it was in the north, you know, the north didn't treat black people a whole lot different than the south did sometimes, and lots of times they had to be buried in a separate cemetery. That's just the way it was. So I don't know if it exists or not, but I'm going to go down here and look for it. Whether I find it or not, I'm still going to post this video. Maybe some of you are familiar with this area too. Maybe you know more about what's back here, if there is one back here or not. But we'll see. I'm just going to make a day of exploring, whether I find it or not. Who knows? Maybe I'll find something else out here too. So this is where we're at. All right, I'm going to get on down there. Alright, so I came down to the Beaver Pond. There's some cool ducks out here. I forget offhand what kind they are. There's the female and the male right behind her. The term golden eye is coming to mind. Or maybe a hooded merganser. I'll look it up when I get home. But they're pretty neat looking. For sure. Alright, well, here we are in Rausch Gap. Took me, what did it take me? I got here about an hour and 50 minutes it took me to get here. So there's a lot here at Rausch Gap, but that's not why we're here today. I made some videos about this place. I might come back here this summer again and do some more. But anyway, I'm going to take a break here, and then we're going to do as I said and see if we can find some cemeteries around here. I know the one cemetery is right down here along the Appalachian Trail. We'll go down and see that one again, but then I'm gonna see if I can find that other one, if it's out here at all. Alright, so break time. Alright, well, break time is over, so let's head on down. Let's head on down the Appalachian Trail here a bit. Let's go down to this cemetery that's down here. I want to look at the bridge down here too. Looks like more of it's falling down. We'll try to get a better look at that down here. Yeah, every time I come here, I think more and more of this bridge collapses. That's kind of a shame. Alright, and here is, of course, the Appalachian Trail goes down that way, and here's what's left of the sign for the cemetery, which goes off this way. You can see there's like an old path, an old road that leads down to it. And of course here is the official cemetery of Rausch Gap. It's just a handful of tombstones left. Got John Proud. Andrew Allen, and it's like Catherine here. And then there's two more back here that don't have, they're just field stones. And there were more out here. There's a lot more buried here because they just use the regular field stones. This place has been vandalized too in the past. I think there were more tombstones here. I think I read. Maybe not. I know at one point someone had even dug up one of the bodies and there was like bones scattered in here. I don't know why people gotta do that. But anyway, this cemetery is well known. A lot of people come here. See a lot of pictures of this online. But this is not the one I'm looking for. I just thought we'd come here first. It's always kind of a peaceful place here. So I'm gonna start looking around for that black cemetery. I've looked for it before, but I'm gonna expand my search, see what I can find. Alright, I should say that this cemetery is southeast of town. That was the general rule that they did. And usually the town dump was southeast of town because the prevailing winds come from the northwest. So they put the town dump and the cemeteries in that direction. They didn't want the wind blowing up from the dumps of the cemeteries. Because sometimes, a lot of times, they would burn the trash at the dumps and other stuff like that. And they didn't want that wind blowing back up towards town. So if you're looking for a cemetery near an old town, abandoned town, that's generally where to look, is southeast of town. All right. Yeah, I'm still here, but that's a new addition here. That wasn't here last time I was here. Some people come here. And I just want to mention too, it might bother some people that I talk about there being a black cemetery, in a northern state, but the North had a culture of slavery too at one time, because it was banned earlier, a lot earlier. I forget what the exact date was, but it didn't mean that people of African descent were treated fairly in the North either. I know our history just tends to get a little twisted sometimes. They think that the North was all, anti-slavery, whatever, but that wasn't always the case. And the black people weren't always treated with respect, and that's why even in the North you find these black cemeteries where they weren't allowed to be buried with the other people. Because I think a couple of years ago they found one of these black cemeteries up near Boston, and people how can this be? Well, there was slavery in Boston at one time as well. So, all right, but I don't want to start any political arguments on YouTube here. All right, so I'm going to start my search, looking around. We'll see what we see. I'm just making my way past. There's a trail that leads back behind that cemetery. Of course, this is the time of year to look for something like this because all the vegetation has died back. But even with that, it would be pretty difficult to find anything because they probably didn't have tombstones for their graves. If there is a graveyard out here for them, probably just been those field stones. Because last week I was up at Pine Grove Furnace State Park, and there was an old cemetery up there, and there was really no gravestones, just like field stones marking where the graves were, like in rows. You could hardly tell it was a cemetery, so who knows. But even if I don't find anything, it's just cool to be out here in the woods like this. And maybe I won't find a cemetery, maybe I'll find something else. We'll see. Let me show you kind of what I'm looking for. Like here, there's a row of stones. There's one, and there's one. That's what it would kind of look like. They just used field stones for their grave markers, and there's a number of stones in here. I think some of them are a little too close together to mark a graveyard, but some nice trees back there to make a right angle. Nice flat area, but I'm not saying that's what this area is, but I'm just saying it's kind of what you're looking for, kind of what I'm looking for. But yeah, because most of the time the stones are just jumbled around here, but some of these are kind of in rows, so I don't know. I'm not saying it is anything. I'm just kind of curious. All right, but I'm gonna keep looking around, and it's right next to that trail that continues on past the other cemetery, so it's possible. But a lot of stones look a little too close together for that. But anyway, Alright, I'm gonna keep looking. So I'm still following that old road from the cemetery, because it comes down through here and it comes across the stream here. It looks like what's left of some sort of wooden bridge, maybe, or maybe just some logs someone placed here. Who knows? But it almost looks like what's left over from a bridge. But it continues on this way. I'm just gonna keep following it, see where it goes. That's part of what the adventure is about, just seeing where it takes you. Alright, so I came across this neat pool of water, but there's some strange... Oh, he's out of focus. There's some strange creature down there crawling around. Look at that. Like it's camouflaged underneath some sticks and whatnot. That's interesting. Yeah, it's just a little pool of water. It's kind of neat. Stuff bubbling up every now and then from the surface. Alright, well, I've been out for a while. It's been a while since I reported back, but I sat here on this bridge and ate lunch. This is the Appalachian Trail heading south out of Rausch Campus, so I just took a break here for a while. Probably going to call it quits for today here. Yeah, I was on this side of the creek for a while, then I went on the other side. There was nothing on the other side, really. So yeah, if you know anything about the cemetery out here, like I said, the Black Cemetery, you can feel free to comment. I'd appreciate if somebody has more information about it. Or if you think I'm nuts for being out here looking for it, you can say that too. You won't be the first person to think I'm crazy. But yeah, so, but regardless of what I found or did find today, like I said, to me it's not a waste of time just to spend a couple hours out in the woods anyway. It's not always about what you find, it's just the experience of being out here. Alright, so yeah, I think I'm going to head back up to the rail trail here. Right there, Appalachian Trail goes back up to Rausch Gap there, and then make the trek back to the truck. So anyway, thanks for coming along, and like I said, if you know anything about what I was looking for out here, go ahead and let me know. Alright, and as always, thanks for coming along with me.